Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe. And today I want to talk about that privacy violating app maker ByteDance out of China because they're launching new apps, several of them, many of which are artificial intelligence based, and it appears that the US government isn't really doing anything about this. So, Emily Baker White of Forbes had a really good write-up on this that I'm basically heavily cribbing from, and full disclosure, I also published through Forbes, but if you recall, in 2023, Congress passed a law saying that TikTok and any other app that was owned by the Chinese parent company of TikTok, known as ByteDance, would have to be sold or they would be banned in the United States. So, basically, this made good on a threat that then President Trump in 2020 during his first term, and also President Biden made the same threat in 2023 as well in his only term. So, earlier in 2025, then President Trump, now in the second term, ordered the Department of Justice not to enforce this law. Now, this was essentially a reprieve that has kept TikTok online way past essentially the January deadline, and that is basically where we're at now, right? And that was originally the January 2025 deadline, as I'm sitting here talking to you in January 2026. But the non-enforcement order has done more than just save TikTok. It's enabled, basically, its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to continue developing and introducing new products into the markets in the United States and obviously other places in the world as well. And in many cases, basically, these products are focused on new uses for artificial intelligence. So, in addition to the new apps for the Chinese market, ByteDance has launched English language tools like Trae, that's Trae, that's an AI coding assistant, Dreamina, which is an AI image generator, PicPic, which is a generator of AI replicas or avatars, Easy Ode, which is a music licensing platform, and an open source AI agent known as Agent TARS, that's Tars, all caps. Now, these tools also come on the heels of earlier launches like hosting infrastructure tools Catalyst with a K, Cube with a K, Cube Admiral, and an AI music generator known as Math, and another one known as Ripple. Now, some of these products have not disclosed their ties to ByteDance, which often releases new apps under development through Singapore-based subsidiaries. ByteDance's flood of new products is, to some extent, probably just them keeping up with the competition. But Trae's offerings, for example, are similar to Microsoft's Juggernaut VS Code, while Dreamina is comparable to Midjourney or Google Veo. But these new apps also make it clear that ByteDance will remain a central part of the geopolitical struggle for AI supremacy between the United States and China. ByteDance has also shown consistent interest in creating apps for children as well, something I am not a fan of at all. So they've got a homework helper app known as Gauth, that's Gauth, and that has remained available in the United States, basically due to Trump's non-enforcement order of this one, right? But ByteDance has also tested other products focused on children as well. For years, Congress was considering whether and basically to ban TikTok, how to actually do it. And during that period, ByteDance was running Rex and Friends, which is a children's app for learning English. It also registered, but apparently never developed, basically web domains called byteprec.com, kids.app, AI kids.app, and more. And this is, I think, one of the big issues that we've got, aside from the fact that social media in and of itself, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, has led to an enormous amount of mental health issues in younger generations. ByteDance has been notoriously bad at this, essentially focusing absolute slop and garbage at kids outside of China, while conversely having their internal TikTok app in China itself, known as Douyin, basically focus on educational things, focused on the state, everything else. In other words, prepping kids with educational materials while the rest of our kids get stupid dance videos and all of that, not to mention TikTok challenges, oftentimes that have violence or harm as part of them. This has been a very serious issue, aside from the fact that China has also built the largest surveillance state in the entire world, and per a 2017 law, any data that they have on foreigners, meaning ByteDance is collecting all of this data on all these children on TikTok, the Chinese government, basically required by that 2017 law, has access to it. that is one of the stated stipulations. So ByteDance is turning all of this over to the Chinese government, or at least giving China access to this. And they've tried to separate this through Project Texas, which was an absolute lie. We've caught basically whistleblowers. There's been audio recordings saying, on the American side that they have to go to their Chinese bosses who have access to more things on the US side. So this is absolutely insane. And ByteDance continues to, Emily Baker White of Forbes, her point of basically involving themselves in the geopolitics and the AI race between China and the United States. China is moving as fast as it can to basically create open source alternatives that the world will adopt. Look at DeepSeek. And while that was a Chinese startup, technically its own independent company, they're all beholden to the Chinese state. And so if they can get the world using DeepSeek and ByteDance products and all of this at the exclusion of, let's say, other apps that may have better privacy controls, better focus, less surveillancy towards a government, etc., that's an issue. And that's not to say that, the Facebooks of the world aren't data mining us, but we have recourse under the U.S. law, at least at this time, to go after the Facebooks of the world, in a way that we simply could not sue ByteDance in China. Go try that. So this is a big issue. I'm not a fan of these issues. I'm not a fan that ByteDance is still around. I really wish that Congress had followed through, as did the Trump administration, and then the Biden administration, and now once again the Trump administration on this, because quite frankly, this has nothing to do with politics. Cybersecurity and privacy in this case are agnostic to politics, even though we're not immune from it. And so this is something that just needs to happen. We need to get rid of ByteDance. We need to be excising this. And it's not just the United States. It's also Europe, Canada, Australia, etc., etc. We have to have educational pushes on the actual damage and data mining and surveillance, basically, that I've talked about for years and years and years at this point in these segments. We have to educate the public on this. We have to get rid of these apps. So there you go. It is what it is for right now. And yes, you'll make the argument of, surveillance apps. And again, legal recourse is the big difference here, not to mention the fact that we have social pressure on companies inside of our own countries in a way that we just simply don't have with China. So best of luck. Not a fan. Here we are. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where you have recourse under the law to sue them, unlike any ByteDance product. Same with essentially YouTube as well, where I hope you subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, please, please attempt to stay private, informed, and secure. Take care.